just wanna be successful.
Roberts, and before we even get into that, I just want to, because we met him last year in Atlanta, Georgia, and I mean, my partner and I was just so overwhelmed and just touched and moved by his story when he was speaking, and first thing we said, we have to bring him down here to New York City.
And you made it happen.
And we made it happen, so I'm just grateful that he accepted the opportunity just to come down and really to speak. So, Mr. Roberts, are you on?
I am. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Mr. Roberts. How are you?
Well, I'm wonderful. Thank you. I'm calling you from the great city of St. Louis, where it's very hot. We may be breaking a record today.
Oh, wow. Well, trust, we're over here in New York City, and we're sweating as well, so we're kind of in the same predicament.
Well, it's that time of the year, but the good thing is we're all here together, and I understand you have one of the most popular shows in New York. Congratulations.
Well, you heard right, and thank you so much for that confirmation.
Coming from you, yes, sir.
So, Mr. Roberts, if you would please share for our listeners exactly who are you?
Well, I'm happy to do that. I'm what you would call a serial entrepreneur. By that I mean, I'm a person who has about 76 companies. They range from hotels, which I have 12, strip shopping centers, 4 TV stations, a radio station. We've renovated several buildings, warehouses, and loft apartments, projects in the Bahamas as well. So, as a guy who steady worked at the post office for 39 years, we weren't rich, we weren't poor, we just never had any money. I think
I like that one.
Talking about. But I've built a business with my brother Stephen from the ground up. After I finished law school, I moved 2 blocks from the projects in St. Louis when all my friends were running to the suburbs. I lived there for 10 years, where I was elected to our St. Louis Board of Aldermen, or City Council, some would call it, and served 8 years on the council, developed a reputation in street cred, while building businesses, acquiring small amounts of property at a time, building them up to the point where they became commercial as well as residential, then diversified into broadcast, wireless, power companies, etc. Really easy to find, roberts-companies.com. I'm also the author of a book, Action Has No Season, The Strategies and Secrets of Gaining Wealth and Authority, and they can find it at michaelvroberts.com, or just go to Amazon. The title, again, is Action Has No Season.
Now, Mr. Roberts, let me ask you a question. Now, that title, I mean, how did you even come up with that title, Action Has No Season?
Well, I, first of all, take an approach a very existential approach, and that is, every day when you wake up, you're given 86,400 seconds. For those doing the math, that's 24 hours. now,
I was counting by 5s and carrying the 1.
But even as you think of the moment, it already leaves you. So if conceptually, therefore, you have to live every moment to its fullest extent. And you don't need to waste time, and you don't need to wait for something to come. Hence the rather existential statement that action has no season, meaning you can't sit and wait to take action. Action is an ongoing, immediate existence. Inside of my book, in fact, I coined the word the actionaire, which is defined as a person who takes their dreams, their aspirations, their vision, their passion, and they pursue them with courage, confidence, and bravado. The actionaire is an interesting word, and one that people have been picking up on, interestingly enough, after I've given speeches, even to create actionaire societies and clubs, which is flattering to me. I mean, it's not something I'm trying to create, but I would like for us to someday get that word in Webster's dictionary, because as a black man, it would be nice to have an intelligent word when we look at the words that go in, and words like bling bling and bootylicious.
Right.
Why don't we come up with something like actionaire, which is a very proactive, aggressive, and a little more intellectual type word.
What do you look for in a company if you're interested in to invest? What do you look for in a company?
Now, let's make it clear. Let's change that from investing to buying.
To buying, okay.
Yeah, because I'm not an investor. I'm not a venture capitalist like some people, or angel capitalists. That's what they do. They are investors. I mean, if there's a stock market choice, if Facebook goes public as it has, is that an investment? Maybe it is, but it's sort of just parking your money a little bit off to the side. But I think your question really speaks more to, how do you evaluate a business transaction that you are truly engaged in? And it depends on the category of the business. If it's a hotel, like I just bought a hotel in Detroit. It was an Omni. It's on the Detroit riverfront. It's a gorgeous hotel. It's been open about a year now. I mean, right on the water. And as you physically look across out the window, you're looking at Canada, and off to the left is Belle Isle, and it's just a fabulous location. Now, some people might say, "Well, are you kidding, Detroit?" Well, yes, I'm not. I'm okay with Detroit. After all, Detroit has probably the largest black population in America.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It just, and if anybody's going to help in leading the way, why not an African American stepping up, writing a check, and just quit talking about stuff, put your money up, and get this thing done. And I'm one of those kind of guys. I mean, I'd rather go in and show. Well, I'm from the Show Me state of Missouri. My thing is, look, I'm gonna step it up. I'm gonna go for it.
Right.
If the outcome isn't as I would like, fine. I've taken a reasonable risk, and all businessmen must take risks. That's sort of, that's
it's a part of it.
Nature. That's all part of the process. So, we just have to go for it.
Okay, last. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, because I just got a text, and it's just a question that actually from the Facebook. They want to know, because they're excited about you coming to New York. For one thing, they all excited. So they was like, what should they expect when you come into Brooklyn next week for the SuccessNET?
Well, more of the same. I mean, what I'm there to do is receive. I mean, I'll open up with some discussions probably about the value of innovation and entrepreneurship, and what does that really mean? And I'll break it down. I don't try to talk lofty. I try to really break it down so that people get it. Because if they don't get it, I'm wasting my time. My objective, the only reason I wrote the book, is because more of us in the African American community should sit down and write out our ideas, convert them into books, so that young people 20 years, 100 years from now can sit and read about, what took place in our era. And so the person who sent that to you should come. I will have my books there for sale.
Okay.
I will position to give the as much philosophy and direction and concepts and experience as I have. Question that would be asked of me, and I'm happy to do it and happy to be there for it.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts. We really appreciate you, and we look forward to you taking out your busy schedule and look forward to you coming next week, actually. So thank you so much once again. I really appreciate it.
Well, listen, before we leave, I hope we could take a moment. Earl Graves' wife passed today. Mrs. Graves, she was the co-founder of Black Enterprise, which is one of the stalwart magazines for all of us across the United States. She'll be sorely missed. She leaves 3 sons, and they're all good guys. And of course, Earl, I'm sure, is hurting right now. So anybody who knows him, send their prayers. Mrs. Graves was just a wonderful woman, but we lost her just today, I'm told.
Well, thank you for sharing that information with us. Today was kind of a rush day, so I didn't even catch that news myself, so thank you for sharing.
You're quite welcome. All right. Well, listen, we will see all of you in New York Wednesday night, the 31st, and thank you for allowing me to have an interview with you today.
You're welcome. And I'll be picking you up, Mr. Roberts, so I can get the opportunity to pick your brain.
Great. Okay, we'll talk about it. There may not be much left, but that'll be okay.
Okay.
See you next week.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right,
Goodbye.
bye-bye.